Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
El día de hoy para Rutas Alternas tenemos el gusto de conversar con Ariel East, que recién está presentando su material discográfico Try Harder, y tenemos el gusto de conversar con ella a través de esta videollamada. Hola, Ariel.
Hola.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So you just released your album Try Harder. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good. Yeah, I'm feeling really happy. I haven't gotten depressed yet about it, so that's good.
And what is that?
I don't know. Sometimes releasing things can just feel scary, and you feel like very vulnerable and exposed. And I've felt that way in the past when I've released things, but I'm not feeling that way right now. I'm feeling,
Oh, no problem.
sorry, I'm feeling like a lot of love, so that's good.
It's amazing because in your songs, we can find a lot of emotions. One of them, the love, of course. And I fully understand you because it's scary to have new things, and maybe your feelings are not strong enough when something new came. But it's also important to take risk, right?
Yeah, totally.
How do you make Try Harder? What can you tell us about your creative process?
So I write songs. I don't play an instrument, but I write songs like just a cappella. So I write the melody and the lyrics and the structure all together. And then I bring them to people who do play instruments, and I work with them to write the chords. And then, you know, I was performing these songs for a few years before I got into the studio really, and started really working on them. And I sort of went into the studio thinking I would record the versions that I had been playing live. But when I did that, it didn't really feel right. So we just like really worked on the arrangements and really took our time and sort of like stripped everything back and built it up again.
It's important for an artist to have these feelings about the music because you need to have the exact sound that you need in each song.
Yeah, totally. We were like very intentional and patient with the way that we arranged and recorded the whole record.
You make the album in Brooklyn?
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan, cool. And how important is for you to live in a city like New York that is a music cultural capital of the world?
It's so important to me. I moved here when I was 18, and I had no idea that there was any like musical artist world outside of what I saw on TV, like American Idol and, you know, like what I heard on the radio. So I always wanted to be a singer, but I never really thought it was possible because I didn't see myself in what I was hearing on the radio or seeing on TV. And then as soon as I moved to New York, I saw Sharon Van Etten play a show in Brooklyn in 2007 to like 20 people, and it completely changed my life. Like it made me realize that it was possible to do what I'm doing now. So it's very, very important.
How cool is that, right?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Because I read that you spent your childhood in Europe, right?
Yeah, I lived in Germany for 6 years.
And that experience have an impact in your music, or only in yourself?
I think that like it definitely the feeling of sort of not feeling like I feel exactly at home anywhere because of living so many different places and being uprooted constantly. is a big theme of the record, like just trying to figure out what is home and where do I belong. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, I think living in Germany definitely like shaped who I am and is a big influence on what I make.
Because, you know, a lot of people say that the only constant is to change, right?
Yeah, true.
And what can you tell us about the process of being a musician during these pandemic times?
So the record was already finished before the pandemic started, and it was supposed to come out in September, but you know, it got pushed back just because we didn't know like really what it was going to be like, or how long the pandemic would be, or if touring was going to come back, and everyone was just like pausing and recalibrating, and so that was hard. I was like pretty sad about that, but you know, you get over it because there's so much going on in the world that you're like, I mean, people are dying every day. Like, it's not that big of a deal that my record has to come out like 4 months later or whatever, you know?
Yes.
But I was like working on music videos and stuff, and I had a lot of plans. Like, I wanted to go to the desert and make a video because the desert is a very important like theme and like space of the record, but obviously we couldn't travel like for that video, so that was a disappointment. But I think that what we ended up making is beautiful and like makes sense to the world, and the world of the record, I mean. And you know, yeah, I haven't been writing. I haven't like felt very inspired during this time. It's been more like more of a quiet time for me of just focusing on the release and making videos and sort of just, I don't know, trying to be patient with myself about like my productivity.
Yes, it's very important to take a break and look inside and figure out how we're going to spend the next months, the next years. But also, it's important to think about your own process of being a musician. I mean, the things are changing, but sometime, maybe this year, the festivals and the concerts will return, and you have to be prepared for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we also have to be prepared for that to not happen. But
Yes.
I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, you know. I'm not trying to have too many expectations and just sort of, you know, go with the flow.
And Ariel, why the desert? Because the landscape, because the loneliness, because you need to find your inside you what's next, right?
Yeah, well, so I went to elementary school in Arizona, in Tucson, Arizona. So um like the Saguaro National Forest like had a big impact on my childhood, and there were like little desert songs that they would like sing to us at the like elementary school library about the like animals of the desert. And then we lived in Germany for 6 years, and then I moved to Texas, and I lived in Texas for 3 years. And I lived in Texas from when I was 15 to when I was 18, which is such like an important time in your life. Like, so much is changing. You're sort of like forming your identity. And it's such a beautiful place, Abilene, Texas. It's like very flat, West Texas, huge, like expansive, beautiful sky, like stars, you know, driving 30 minutes in any direction and just being completely like in desolate like area with no one around was really special. And it's basically the opposite of New York City. Like, you can't like, if you want to be alone in nature, you have to go many, many hours. You have to travel many hours.
Yes.
And you can't see the stars and you can't really see the sky. So, I was just like wanting to go back to that place. And I was just thinking about that time a lot. I don't know. It's just like a part of who I am. And I was just like wanting to explore that and express it.
What an amazing journey, right? From Germany to Arizona to Texas to New York. I mean, very complete.
Yeah.
And in your latest video for the song "The Things We Build," we find you exactly in New York, in very special seasides of New York, with an amazing outfit, I have to say it. And you are exactly that way, lonely in a very big city.
Yeah.
How do you work with the director to catch these emotions?
Well, the director of that video is my best friend, and we've worked together a lot. She's a fashion photographer, and we met like 10 years ago. We worked together in a restaurant, and she asked me to model for her, and before she was a photographer, really. And we sort of like came up together, like working together. I'm in a lot of her work, and she just knows me really well, and I feel really comfortable with her behind the camera. And we just like ran around the city and, had fun.
It's very fun, but also I can feel that sense of loneliness in a crowded place like Times Square, right?
Yeah, Times Square is a very lonely place. Very lonely, very impersonal, like, and overwhelming and sort of terrible.
Yes, I feel you, because when I'm in a big party or with a lot of crowd, I feel very lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, Ariel, we can find your album Try Harder in all digital platforms. You work with Partisan Records, right?
Yes.
How was working with them?
They're great. They're very supportive, and like I'm very protective over my work when I'm making it. So I kind of like, I didn't really show them anything until it was finished, sort of, until I felt like, okay, this is perfect. Now I will show it to them. And they were very enthusiastic and trusting of me, and made me feel like they really respected me and my work, and like really loved it. And I feel very supported. It's been nice.
Yes, it's important, this relation between independent artists and an independent label, right?
Yeah.
Stronger together.
Yeah.
So, Ariel, you publish your album in vinyl or CD. We can buy it here in Mexico.
Yeah, we definitely made vinyl. I don't know if we made any CDs.
Oh, okay.
But we definitely made vinyl, which I'm very, very excited about.
There are a lot of people who love vinyl, including me, a lot of music nerds, right? That still enjoy to open a vinyl.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful object, I think.
Yes.
It doesn't feel, CDs like feel more temporary, I think, for me, than vinyl feels very like it will last a long time.
With a lot of history, right?
Yeah.
Great. So, Ariel, we can find your album Try Harder in Apple Music, in Spotify, in all digital platforms, your videos in YouTube, and where we can buy the album.
You can buy it from Partisan Records,
Okay.
or you can buy it on my website, arieleast.net.
That easy. arieleast.net. We can find you there. And are you planning some streaming for presenting the album?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm planning to like film a concert
Cool.
in the snow next week, I think, hopefully. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, look forward to see that. I think that it's amazing. Also, the snowy place can feel that vibe, right?
Yeah. Well, we have to, I want, it feels safer to be outside, and it's what we're working with what we've got.
Okay, Ariel. So congratulations for the album. Love it. And looking forward to see you live here in Mexico. I hope when the things get better, you can come, but not only to Mexico City, but Guadalajara or Monterrey, different cities here in the country.
I would love to come.
Great, Ariel. Thank you so much for this chat with Rutas Alternas.
Thank you so much.
Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.